What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 231. And we start today's episode off with some player training for the final time, yes! What's going on guys, welcome back. It is episode number 231 of Career Mode. It is indeed the final episode of the series, officially on the back of the Champions League final victory, where Ivan Toney captained us and led us to our first ever Champions League in our first ever Champions League final. And of course, on the back of that 2-0 victory against Manchester City, winning the grand prize for the first time in the save, I did decide in the last episode this would be our final season of what has been an incredible series, without question one of my best career modes ever. And that takes some doing when you consider all the classic saves we've had in the past, but it's been an amazing series. Your support has been incredible. But after 10 long years, finally capturing the Champions League, we end on a high with Ivan Toney being the guy to bring it home. So in today's episode, it's the final episode of the series. It's one last look at the save where we'll go through the save in depth, take a look one last look at the Sheffield United side and what went on around the world too in our 10th and final year of career mode, and answer some more questions in our live Q&A as well. So loads to get through guys, let's get to it. But firstly, I just want to say real briefly guys, thank you so much for all the lovely kind words and the comments on the last episode. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I really do appreciate it. I wasn't sure I was going to talk about it on YouTube or not, but I felt as though you guys deserved to know and had a right to know what had been going on of late. And yeah, the comments that you guys left in the last episode, the kind words, the nice messages I got on Twitter and on YouTube as well, thank you sincerely for all that. I really do appreciate it. It really cheered me up. And honestly, I'm being totally honest here, if I could go to the hospital and see my dad right now, I would genuinely show him all the comments you guys left in that last episode and show him how many people have been wishing him well and all the best for the future. And yeah, sincerely guys, honestly, it moved me. It really did. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, it's a tough time right now, but yeah, I just can't say anything other than thank you for all your lovely comments and messages regarding the very tough situation we're in right now. But anyway, as we kick off the final episode of the series then, we'll take one final look at the Premier League table, where as you can see, we did indeed finish second place this season, a whopping 13 points behind Frank Lampard's side, and he with 91 points on the board, only losing 3 times throughout the entire season. Our best ever Premier League season. It still wasn't a match for Frank Lampard's Blues. They were just that good this season. 104 points for them. And if anyone was going to pip us to the Premier League title and prevent us from winning it in our final season, I'm kind of glad it was Chelsea. You know, we had such an amazing series rivalry with Frank Lampard's Blues, so it's only fitting that we miss out on the Premier League because of our series rivals. But either way, great season for us, and I do believe if we were to go one more season in the save, we would probably win the Premier League next year, but sadly, it is what it is. You can't win them all, and in this save, we will never ever win the Premier League. The Carabao Cup this year was won by Arsenal beating Spurs in an all-North London affair at Wembley, and of course, as you know, the FA Cup was won by us this season. So moving on, we're now going to take one final look at our last ever Sheffield United side in the save. And as I'm going through the players' stats for one final time, I'm going to get back to the live Q&A and answer a few more that I didn't get around to in the last episode. And we'll start off with Saint Shaq, otherwise known as @LFC Allen, and he says, favourite FIFA moment? Great question to kick off the Q&A with. Such a difficult one because obviously, you know, there are so many memories that stick in my memory with all of the FIFA career mode saves we've done over the years. I mean, and again, it's one of those questions where you ask me on a different day and I'll give you a different answer, but I'd say 2 memories more than any other come to mind when I think about my FIFA career modes and the most memorable moments. The first would be in my FIFA 14 Millwall career mode, where Michael and Goo won us the Premier League at Anfield on the final day after we almost choked it away. I'm sure many of you guys have seen it before, but I'll try and remember to leave a link to it in the description. I can still remember my commentary for it. And Goo, get in the goddamn... And then the cross comes in. Oh, it's a scramble. And Goo scored. Yeah, that one will always stick in my memory. But also, probably the GOAT FIFA memory on my save as well. My FIFA 13 career mode save, otherwise known as the Sunderland save, where in the Champions League final, in the final ever episode of my longest career mode save ever, I think, We won the Champions League. We were Atletico Madrid against our former team Sunderland, courtesy of the cult hero Felipe Marcano, with the final kick of the series, scoring the winning penalty in the shootout. And the reason why that will always be probably the GOAT memory for me is because that was the start of all of this. That was the start of every series I do, there being one cult hero. You know, every single time I start a series, you know, there's always one player that becomes the legend of the save. In this one, for example, it's the man we're on right now, Ivan Toney. And Felipe Marcano was the original Ivan Toney, if you will. He was the original Marco Ryan Tala. He was the original Mbanyang. He was the original cult hero. If we're being technical here, there was actually one before him called Lewis Dunk. I'm sure not many of you know about that, but yeah, that was back in my first ever manager career, I'd say, with Brighton and Spurs. But Marcano was the first, like, you know, the big star, if you will. And yeah, that Champions League final penalty winner, it was the start of all of this, basically. So that will always stick in my mind more than any other, and I don't think I'll ever forget that. You know, that moment, that one moment there, is the reason why all of the saves we've done over the years have been possible. It really has been, sincerely. But moving on, and the next question comes from the Pope is a bold fraud, and he says, do you think Jack Grealish and Kyle Walker should be in the England squad after breaking the quarantine rules, if they were to be in the squad previously, that is? Here's the thing on this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I don't like the fact that Gareth Southgate is using this breaking quarantine as an excuse to exile Kyle Walker in particular from the England squad. Because, let's be honest here, that's what it is. It's an excuse. You've got Trent Alexander-Arnold and you've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I think most people would say are more likely to be England's starting 1 and 2 right-backs for the next, well, several years. Kyle Walker is, of course, many years older than both of those right-backs, and I think a lot of people would say that those two, Trent and Aaron, are better than Kyle. They've got Reece James, who I'm on right now, who is, of course, a very good, young, talented fullback as well. Max Aarons from Norwich too. Here's the thing on this, right? If Harry Kane broke quarantine and did what Kyle and Jack have done, do you really think Gareth Southgate would come out and say, that's it, Harry Kane's England career is over? Nah, of course he fucking wouldn't. You know, it's an excuse as far as I'm concerned. I don't like the idea of him capitalising on a mistake, and that's what it is from Walker, in order to exile him from future England squads. So look, it's his decision. He's manager. He can do what he sees fit. But personally, I don't think you should. I don't think you should ban someone from national team call-ups due to a mistake, and that's what it is, a mistake. Outside of anything related to football, and that's what it is. Well, you know, I should say within reason. Of course, there are certain exceptions from that, but within reason. It was a mistake, you know. But again, it's just an excuse, you know, to exile him and never have to worry about calling him up again. It's just because there's better and younger right backs in the squad. Next question comes from Nakajima FC, and he says, how's your Portuguese lessons going? Tough, really tough. We've just had my first lesson of Beginner 2, which is the second Portuguese course I'm on right now. And it was online. All the 10 lessons I've got are going to be online. And as I mentioned before, I don't feel very confident that I'm going to learn much from this course, because online lessons, I've mentioned on Twitter before, they're just not the same as being in the classroom. It's so hard to be immersed. It's so hard to concentrate. It's so hard to stay focused. You can't really have that connection with the teacher that you do when you're actually physically in the same room with them. So yeah, it's tough, but I'm still amazed at how much I actually have learned, even though I can only speak the very basic Portuguese. It's still pretty amazing I can actually hold a very basic conversation in the language, but yeah, it's tough, but I'm still very much enjoying it, and regardless of what happens in these 10 weeks here, I'm still going to continue learning it. I'll still take the next course, and hopefully one day I'll be able to go to Brazil or Portugal and try out the lingo myself, and yeah, it's tough, but I'm really enjoying it, thank you. So let's take one final look at Ivan Toney here. Oh god, look how they massacred my boy! Ivan Toney! It's not fair, damn it. 33 years old, down to 82 overall. Why, eh? Why? 7 golden boots in 8 seasons in European top tier leagues. 40 goals in one season with Sheffield United, 39 in one with Roma, and he's been consistently great throughout the entire save. How can you downgrade him to 82 overall? 31 goals in 35 Premier League games. Why did he go down 2 ratings? Come on, EA, man, sort it out. And the next question comes from Blake Cole. And if you could relegate any English football team instantly, who would it be and why? Now, I think the answer that most people would expect would be West Ham, right? But no, I'll tell you what, I don't mean this as a sign of disrespect to anyone that supports Manchester City or Liverpool or Manchester United or Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, whatever. But one of the big teams, one of the major teams in the Premier League, I would love to see one of them go down. Not because I'm a mean person, but because I would love to see them rebuild and focus on academy talent primarily. I think that would be so cool, man. I think that would be awesome. So we're now going to take a look at some of the leagues around the world whilst I answer a few more questions. And the next one comes from SD20, who said, what was the first football game you have first memories of watching live? That would be the first ever game I went to when I was a very young boy. My dad took me to my first ever football game as father and son to watch Wycombe Wanderers at Adams Park. At the time, they were my local team because MK Dons were still Wimbledon and hadn't moved to Milton Keynes. So at the time, Wycombe were our local team. Even though they were still quite far away from where we lived, there just weren't many football clubs around. I should say professional football clubs around when I was a kid. And yeah, we went to watch Wycombe Wanderers. I was a very, very young boy, and I remember it. I remember it well. We went to that one, and I also went to see Rushden and Diamonds. They're no longer a club now. There's AFC Rushden and Diamonds, but Rushden and Diamonds at Nen Park. I went there as well when I was a very, very young boy. And those are my first ever football memories. Next question comes from Total Willpower, and he says, other than the nobility of doing something good, why did you always have your name as LGBT equality on FIFA career modes? Your videos are the first time I heard the term and helped educate me to the community. Well, that right there is one of the reasons why. You know, I always want to make sure that people are represented and feel included on my videos. I never want anyone to feel left out or that they're not welcome. You know, as I always say, no matter who you are watching this video, you could be a 15-year-old, gender queer, I don't know, there's so many branches to the LGBT tree nowadays, it's hard to keep up with them all. A gender queer, pansexual, you could be straight, you know, you could be gay, you could be bi, you could be trans, whatever, man. If you are on my channel, you are included of, you know, regardless of whoever you are. And at the time when I first made my manager name LGBT equality, the FIFA community did have some mild homophobia problems. I mean, the term EA'd was thrown around in like every single video, you know. But there were quite a few homophobic comments that FIFA YouTubers would occasionally make. I think back then it was a different time. I know it was only 7 years ago, but you know, LGBT representation has come a long way in the past 10 years. And the past 5 years, really. So yeah, I just wanted to make people feel included, you know. I never want anyone to feel left out or that they're not welcome. You know, I wanted everyone to feel like if they come on my channel, they watch my videos, you are represented, you are welcome, and here, you know, you don't have to worry about any kind of jibes or any backlash, whatever, man. You're welcome on my channel, regardless of how you identify, and so on and so forth. So that's the main reason why. And also, again, as you mentioned there, to help educate people, you know, to help, you know, explain to people this is a community that deserve representation and respect as well. You know, we are all human beings and we all deserve respect regardless of who we are as people. Next question comes from, is that Dias or Dills, an animator? And he says Minecraft or Fortnite. Can you believe I've never played either? I've never played either game, ever. I've always wanted to try Minecraft, because it does look pretty fun. And I will say this, I once watched, oh man, I wonder if the videos are still on YouTube, but I once watched Nepentez's Minecraft series. I can't remember what it was called. It had a special name. But Nepenthez, many years ago now, this must have been like 2014, did a Minecraft save. And I watched every single episode in the space of like 3 or 4 days, man. I absolutely loved it. It seems like a great game, but I just don't think I'd ever be that good at it. And also, as for Fortnite, I've never played that game. I just preferred playing H1Z1. I started playing that, and I just never felt the need to play another kind of survival game. I think if I was to play another one now, it would probably be Warzone, Call of Duty's Warzone. So I don't think I'll ever play Fortnite, and I don't think I'll ever play Minecraft either. So I can't really answer that question since I've played neither of them. And next question comes from Galin, who says, what countries have you visited? Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Not many, actually. Wales, Scotland, France, and Spain. That's it, I think. I think that's it. Wales, Scotland, France, Spain. Yeah, I think that's it. However, I will say this. I do want to go on holiday this year or next year. I have not been away in 9 years, and I really want to go on another holiday for the first time in almost a decade. And if I do go away, I'm choosing to go to either Portugal or Brazil, so I can add another one to my very short list of countries I've visited so far. Moving on, and the next question comes from DJ Sparks, who says, how many months sober are you? Do you know, today I am 7 days away from being 6 months sober, half a year, without any drugs whatsoever. I will be honest, I have had a couple of glasses of rosé during these 6 months. Or that's social drinking with friends and housemates. But yep, I am 1 week away from being officially 6 months sober, and it's the longest time I've been without any drugs ever. Well, since I started taking them, obviously. I wasn't lining up spliffs when I was 6 months old. But yeah, I'm to be honest, I know it sounds really stupid. It's only 6 months, but I'm actually quite proud. You know, I have tried, you know, quitting before in the past, but I would always just relapse and go back to it. The longest I'd lasted before was 3 months, so it's been the longest by, well, almost double now. As I'm going to show you Messi and Ronaldo's regens now. So yeah, it's 1 week away from being 6 months with no drugs whatsoever and just a couple of glasses of rosé for drink. And again, I know it sounds that's not Messi's regen. I know it sounds really stupid, but I am actually quite proud of it because again, I thought for sure, you know, I'd end up, you know, going back to it not before long. But do you know what? I feel great. I feel really great, and hopefully I can just keep it going for as long as possible, and hopefully forever. As we take a look at Messi's regen here, who ironically plays for Real Madrid. How crazy is that? But Messi's regen, absolutely amazing in the game. 3-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, high-low work rates, with some absolutely phenomenal stats. 99 for acceleration, sprint speed, agility, and balance. All across the board physically, this guy's fantastic, and technically too. 96 ball control, 86 dribbling, 93 finishing, 93 kicks as well, 97 penalties too, and 88 rated at just 21 years old. He is absolutely unbelievable. And do I have Ronaldo's regen on the shortlist? I did before, but now I don't. This is Zlatan's regen, by the way. You guys knew this guy, though, because of course we had him in our 4th and final original year with Sheffield United. But okay, I'll show you Ronaldo's regen now. As Sam says, if you could have one feature from FM into FIFA, what would it be? Oh, just the one feature? Man, that's hard. That's really hard to just choose the one because there are so many. But if I could just choose one, I can't believe I'm using this one, but it would be statistics. And what I mean by that is statistics that don't disappear after 1 year. I still can't believe that in FIFA career mode, after a year, that's it. Like the statistics in that year disappear forever, and you'll never see them again. As you take a look at Ronaldo's regen here, I almost signed him with Bayer Leverkusen. 89 rated, low work rates, horrible that, with 3-star skill moves and 2-star weak foot. Still really good though, striker and left wing dispositions, just like Messi's regen. 99 for acceleration, sprint speed, agility and balance as well, and 89 overall, just 23, with 99 ball control, 99 dribbling, 96 shot power, 89 long shots, 93 free kicks, 90 volleys and 99 curve as well. If they train that finishing stat up to the high 80s, this guy will definitely be 95 overall plus. He's also got a team player trait, which I love as well. But yeah, just a one feature. I know it's crazy to say this, but again, statistics, EA, please, for goodness sake, for next season and next year onwards, please keep the statistics year by year. It's so frustrating knowing that after one season, they disappear forever. So the very last thing I'll show you in this series is one final look at the top scorers, assists and clean sheets in the Premier League, the Cups and also the European competitions too. And I'll try and answer a few more questions for you and to save off as well. First one coming from Christos, who says, what about the possibility to bring out Ultimate Team content on your channel? RTGs are fairly popular, and if you make it first owner, for example, they could develop some attachment to players in career mode, just an idea. I have been flirting with the idea of bringing online content back to my channel, but I'll say this, if I am going to start an online series again, it probably won't be Ultimate Team. It would most likely be head-to-head seasons, just because I really don't like what Ultimate Team has become. I know it's the most popular game mode on FIFA, but quite frankly, I just don't like what it is now. As I often say, and as I often have to remind some people, Ultimate Team is really competitive now, but it never used to be. When Ultimate Team first become part of FIFA, way back in the day, originally as downloadable content, I remember getting it. It was a bit of a joke. It was a bit of an arcade game. It was really fun. It had the collection book, which was absolutely amazing. I loved the collection book in the old school Ultimate Team. We had what else do we have? Oh, we had virtual pros in the first ever Ultimate Team. We had special cards where, like, during the game, crazy things could happen. Like, goalkeepers' kicks could balloon up in the air. It was really random, but crazy arcade fun. I really enjoyed it. But now, Ultimate Team is just far too competitive for me to enjoy. There are just so many special cards. It's not the same game mode, and I just don't enjoy it at all. So if I am going to do some online content, it would be head-to-head seasons, and maybe in the future I'll make a season save once again, like my old season saves. But for now, I'm not entirely sure. And the next question comes from Bob Dylan, who I didn't realise watches me, but love your music, bro. And he says, what are your feelings towards West Ham and their fans? I know they have a massive rivalry with your club. You don't seem like the type of guy who dislikes someone based on who they support. No, absolutely not. It doesn't bother me one bit who you support, man. You know, regardless of who you're a fan of. West Ham, Leeds, Charlton, I don't care, man. Honestly, you know, we can still be friends just because we support rival teams. I've never liked the idea of that kind of... Like, football will always have a tribalism aspect to it, but I think some people take it far too seriously. You know, I don't mind who you support, man. Again, West Ham, Leeds, Charlton, it doesn't bother me at all. So, no, I don't dislike anyone based on who they support. And I don't think anyone should dislike someone based on who they support. So, yeah, not at all, not at all. And the next question comes from Nick, who says, how's your vegan diet working for you? Well, I'm not officially vegan, as I always have to clarify. I'm still technically vegetarian because I do have a minor bit of dairy in my diet. Not by choice, though. It's just because I can't stand vegan chocolate. It's just not the same. And I find it so hard to kick real chocolate. It's just so good, man. Every weekend, I'll always treat myself to a chocolate bar. And I can't imagine giving that up yet. I've given up meat, I've given up fish, and honestly, I'm doing fine without it. I do miss tuna a lot, because it's the greatest food of all time, nutritionally speaking. But I don't miss meat at all. For those that follow me on Snapchat, you will know, in the olden days, I always used to have Sunday night burgers. Now I just have plant-based Sunday night burgers on Sundays, and it's plant-based beef patties, which are pea protein, I believe, with plant-based bacon and plant-based cheese. And yeah, I'm doing really well. And as I said before, you know, since turning vegetarian, my skin appears clearer. I have a lot more energy than I used to before. And yeah, I got to be honest here, turning vegetarian I think was a really, really good choice on my part. I feel great since I've turned vegetarian, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It's really good fun, and I feel great because of it too. Let's see if I can just answer a couple more before we end the series off for good. Next question comes from Llewellyn, who says, "What's your favourite thing about yourself?" God, I don't fucking know. Not a lot, Llewellyn. Not a lot. I don't. I'm not a big fan of myself. I'm not in love with myself at all. I don't know. I'm quite a hard worker, I guess, and I know that for sure. So probably that, I guess. My work ethic, I suppose. But maybe that's a question you guys can answer in the comment section down below. What's your favourite thing about me? Because it's slim pickings when I think about positive things about myself. But I guess I'd choose my work ethic because I know I've got that in abundance. Next question comes from Sam Wiley, and he says, "Do you think Millwall could have made a push for the playoffs this season if the leagues hadn't stopped?" Yes, definitely. Since Gary come in, he's done an amazing job with us, and I'm looking forward to many, many years with him at the helm. So yes, without question, we could have made a push for the playoffs if the lockdown hadn't occurred. And I'll do one final question that comes from a West Ham fan that's been on my channel for a very, very long time. JP, he says, "Considering FIFA's career mode is trash and ultimate difficulty is trash as well, do you ever lose motivation to record videos?" Yes. The honest answer is yes. Occasionally I do. I always get these questions where people say to me, "Oh man, you always do so many career mode saves and you always sound so enthusiastic when commentating. You know, how do you do that? I lose interest so quickly." And I always have to say the same thing. Mate, I lose interest every now and then as well. It's natural. You know, we've done 10 seasons in this save. You don't think that every now and then I don't lose a little bit of interest from time to time? Yeah, of course it happens. There are some days where I'll realise that I've got a career mode episode to make, you know, for the afternoon, and it's like, you know, 9:30 in the morning, and I'm just about to start my commentary, and I think to myself, man, to be honest here, I'd rather just play Football Manager. Yeah, occasionally I do lose motivation to record videos because the game is just so bad. It's nothing to do with the saves I do. I love producing these saves. And as I always say, the support you guys give me on every single episode and every single video I make is always absolutely amazing. And really, that's what pulls me through. That's what keeps me uploading every day, your support. But the honest truth is, yeah, occasionally I do lose a bit of motivation to record, just when I know that Football Manager is just a far more polished, well-rounded, more in-depth, and quite frankly, better game. Not just to play, but to make videos on as well. So yeah, occasionally I do, but I would definitely say without question, the reason why I always continue is because your support is absolutely amazing. Every single episode, every single series, every single video I make, I always know you guys are going to show me so much love, and that's the reason I continue. Even when I'm struggling for motivation, I know you guys will pull me through. So to end the series off, we'll take one fun look at our career summary, where as you can see, with Sheffield United, Roma, Leverkusen and Atletico Madrid, we won more than 2 league titles. I don't know why it's saying that. We won one with it's because we left towards the end of the season, didn't we, in the season. But we won 1 Premier League, we won 1 Bundesliga, we won 1 Serie A, and we won 1 La Liga as well. We won 5 domestic cups. We won technically more than 3 continental cups because we won the UEFA Super Cup twice, we won the Europa League twice, and we just won the Champions League. So that should be 5 continental cups as well. Our biggest win in the save was our 7-0 victory against Cambridge United, the League 2 side in the FA Cup, back in, I believe, our 4th and final season of the save with Sheffield United. And our biggest loss was back in the first ever season, away at the Etihad Stadium, 6-0 against Manchester City. Our record transfer fee was £200 million. Ah, yeah, I know what that was. Sorry, that was during the time when I left to join Sheffield United. I was experimenting when I was club hopping, and yeah, that's what that was. So ignore that. The actual record transfer fee would actually be our signing of Gianluigi Donnarumma. Where are we here? Roma. Wait. Oh, no, first season, second season. Yeah, Roma, £120 million. That was our most expensive signing ever for Gianluigi Donnarumma back in season 5. And my career earnings throughout the entire save were 34 almost £300,000. Sorry, £34,300,000. Damn, if only, if only. And my club record, 530 games played, 357 wins, 89 draws and 84 losses, with 988 goals scored and 420 just blaze it goals conceded. But 988 goals scored. I wonder how many of those came from Ivan Toney. But anyway, that's going to do it. That will end this series, guys. I can't believe it's finally time to say goodbye. But it is 10 seasons in this career mode save. One of my longest ever career modes. And my word, it has been an absolute joy to present it for you. It's been about 5 years since we've done a save like this. And for FIFA 20, we returned with a classic. This Sheffield United, Roma, Atletico Leverkusen and Sheffield United save again will always be one of my favourites. I've enjoyed it so much. Your support has been incredible. And I want to say thank you so much for all the love throughout the 10 seasons of the save. It's been amazing. I've enjoyed it so much. We've had some legendary moments. There's been some new legends that will go down in Doc's history. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the love. And from me to you, much love. And I won't see you for another episode of this career mode save ever again. But I'll be starting a new career mode this week. So keep your eyes peeled. A new career mode is coming very soon. Much love, and I will see you for it very soon.